Hey, how you doing? This is Steve, real estate agent Keller Williams Realty Atlanta Partners with the Malone Realty Group. So, we've been talking about over the last several months about the market and how the market is great if you want to sell. It's great if you want to sell. It's great if you want to sell. Well, what if you don't want to sell? What if you're just hanging out at your house? Is the market great? Because you think to yourself, it's probably not that great because I'm not doing anything. So who cares? The reality is there are four big things. If you're not doing anything right now, as far as moving, as far as selling your home, there's four big things to keep in mind, and four big things about the market that actually make the fact that it's a great market kind of good for you. All right, so four things. Number one, uh, your house is kind of like a forced savings account. I'm a big Dave Ramsey guy, and Dave Ramsey always talks about how when you pay off your mortgage or you pay down your mortgage, it's like a forced savings account. You put money into it, it pulls the amount down on what you owe on it, so that way when you actually sell the house, you get that back. So it's a savings account, and the cool thing about it is the amount that account has grows on the order of 4 to 5% every year, and it's been doing that for several years now. We have seen a very steady rise in home values. So it's a forced savings account, and your forced savings account is doing very well right now. Back in 07, 08, when everything was crashing, home prices were going down. So even if you were paying down in principal, the amount that the house was going down may have actually gone down more than the principal. So that savings account was not doing too well. But right now, with the prices going up on that 4 to 5%, maybe in some spots 6% every single year, your savings account is doing great. So the amount that your house is worth is going up. The amount that you owe is going down. Good place to be. Let's keep the market going. All right, so that's number one. Number two, equity. You have equity in your house, especially over the last couple of years. If you've owned your home for, let's say, 5 to 7 years, you got a decent amount of equity in that house right now. There are options for what you can do with it. One of them is let's refi it and let's get a lower rate. Drop PMI if maybe you have PMI, or you can pull some cash out. If you pull some cash out, the rates are going to go and fluctuate from there. So talk to a lender, and we have plenty of lenders you can talk to. They'll probably go up a little bit. But if you pull cash out, what can you do with that cash? You can put in the pool in the backyard. You can put in the sunroom. You can, pay for college. You can do, all kinds of stuff. You can take money out to put down on a rental property, and then you kind of grow that way. Whatever you want to do, but because the amount that the homes are going up is so great over the last several years, you have equity. With that equity, you have options for what you can do. All right, so that's one of the other things. The other thing is, have you refinanced? If you have not refinanced in the last 3 years, probably need to refinance. We bought, I want to say back in 2017, and the rates were in the low fours, and that was a great rate. Right now, that's not a very great rate. Right now, the rates are down well below where they were. Let's say, as you're watching this, they're in the 2s to low 3s, depending on what product you're getting, things like that. And again, that changes. I'm not quoting anything. Your lender will quote that. We can get you in touch with a loan officer. But that being said, you're going to save. If you don't want to take any cash out and you just want to refi, let's say you want to drop your PMI, let's say you want to go from a 30 to a 15, or let's say a 15 to a 10, whatever it is that you want to do, there are options that can dramatically lower what you owe every month on your house. So because the rates are where they are right now, and if you have PMI, you want to drop it because everything has gone up as far as the values go, that's something to keep in mind. As values go up, you can drop the PMI too if you get it refinanced. So you have options too. So even if you don't want to take money out, you got to refi if you haven't done it yet. If you're going to be there for a while, it just makes so much financial sense. But again, talk to your lender about that first. See if the numbers work for you. And finally, the big thing is right now people are hurting. There are a lot of people who have lost jobs. I'm good friends with a lot of them that have lost jobs in the last 6 to 7 months since this whole pandemic started. They've either lost jobs or they're greatly underemployed from where they were. So they're not making the money that they were making. They're just kind of making ends meet right now. And unfortunately, we've talked to a lot of people who are getting close to needing to sell their house. Unfortunately, up to this point in my career, it's been a whole lot of people that have been selling because they're getting to that next step, whether that's the next house up or the next house down because they're downsizing, or they want to get a rental property or a second, whatever it is, they have chosen to go to the next step. we're working with people now who are not choosing this. This is kind of the reality that they have, and they've got to take a step back. And it's kind of heartbreaking. We don't want to be in that position. We help, but we don't want that for them. Now, obviously, they don't want that. But that being said, because of the prices right now in the background, the prices have been steadily climbing every year. And it has been a very steady climb over the last, let's say, 7 to 10 years in North Georgia where the prices have gone up. So if you've bought in the last 7 to 10 years, prices have gone up. If you sell and you want to rent for a little bit to kind of see what happens to get your feet out from under you, or get your feet back under you, I should say, and kind of get to that next step, you have equity in your house that you can sell. You can have a big cushion, in your savings account, and it's there for you. So even though all this craziness is going on, you still have that in your back pocket as, just in case. That's not something that people had in 07, 08, because not only was everything falling apart, but the housing prices were dramatically dropping. So they were losing their equity. Right now, equity is great. Next year could be a different story as a lot of foreclosures come up and the foreclosure moratoriums end. We get past the election, the forbearance moratoriums, and things like that. So next year could be a different year. We'll see how it all plays out. I don't think it's smart to really speculate on what's going to happen. Right now, it's a crazy market. Right now, everything is going up in price. So right now it is a very good time if you want to do something with your house, or if you want to just sit on it and watch the values go up for at least the next couple of months. They're going to continue to go up. That's the good news. So if you have questions, if you're curious about what your options are, maybe it makes sense to sell and try and move to the next house because of the rates. Maybe it makes sense to take some money out. Let's fix your house up. Maybe it makes sense. Hey, I want I love my house and I want a cheaper monthly payment. You could do that too. If you want to know what's going on with your house, no obligation, give me a call and let's talk about where you are in the market and what makes the most sense. And we can get you plugged into lenders that might be able to answer some questions. And at least you'd have that information. So give me a call, 470-233-4409. I'm Steve, Keller Williams, Malone Realty Group. Good to talk to you. Have a good day.